this second video of the Robotics Pico degree, we will look at a simple yet important aspect of developing a robotic system. The concept applies to both stationary as well as mobile robots. I'm talking about the URDF. Don't worry about remembering the full form because you'll never remember it anyways. In the most simplest terms, URDF is what describes a robot physical description to ROS. The rigid links which are connected using joints, or basically what the robot looks like in real life. It helps to bind the robotic system in a unified frame of reference. It also describes the kinematic and dynamic description of the robot. In this video, we'll first take a look at the Stark robot's features and then make a plan for the position of different links and joints in the robot and determine the fixed joints versus the continuous ones. We will finally create a Zacro file and visualize the different links and joints in RViz, and also take a look at the TF tree broadcasted by the RobotState publisher. In the last video, you met the Stark robot, which featured the 4-wheel drive, 2-axis camera mechanism, camera, LiDAR, distance sensor, IMU and GPS. In this video, we will define the links and the joints corresponding to each of these features in the robot and then visualize the same in RViz. Before that, here's a quick overview. The relationship or the connection between any parent and the child rigid body is described using a joint. On the other hand, a link signifies the body itself. Hence, you'll always see that a joint connects two links. Now let's take a look at the robot that we have in our case. The body is a rectangular box which can move front, back, left and right using 4 wheels. We have a linear actuator extended with a rotary actuator attached to a camera. This 2-axis mechanism allows the robot to look up and down, left and right. Apart from these, we also have 2 distance sensors, GPS, LiDAR and the IMU. Hence, here you see that the wheels, distance sensors, etc. are fixed with respect to the body. Hence, these can be considered as fixed joints. Whereas this mechanism here, which moves with respect to the body, is called the continuous joint. Now that we understand the robot that we are trying to model, and before we actually create our URDF file, let's draft a plan. In the most general case in robotics, the main structure to which everything is attached is called as the parent body, and we take a point on it and call it the base link, which is usually the center. Now, the 4 wheels which are attached to the body do not move in position. Hence, we connect them using fixed joints. A similar logic applies to the 2 distance sensors, GPS, IMU and the LiDAR. The nav link is going to be fixed in our case. However, depending on your application, it sometimes moves and hence can be controlled using a continuous joint. Now moving on to the linear actuator. As you just saw, the linear actuator can move up and down. Hence, it is connected using a continuous joint, to which we connected a rotary actuator which is a fixed joint, and on the rotary actuator we have a camera which moves, and hence it is connected using a continuous joint. Do note here that if the wheel was being used for odometry purposes, we would have had another continuous joint here for the odometry link. Now let's take a look at what you learn by the end of the video. You will learn how to create all of these links and add visual property to some of the links. You'll also learn how to create these XYZ coordinate transforms for all the links in the robot. As you can see, we have defined all the links which are offset from the base link according to the application. By the end of the video, you'll be able to create this, understand this and modify the URDF based on the requirements of your custom robot. Also, when you launch a repository and run RQT GUI, you'll see an impressive diagram of all the joints that we defined in our Zacro file. These are the transforms of the fixed joints broadcasted by the robot state publisher. For the case of continuous joints, we will use a package called TF to publish the relationship between any two coordinate frames. Hence, using the TF static publisher, we can publish a relationship between the base link and the continuous linear link. Now, if I reload the tree, you will see a newly broadcasted relationship between the two links. To understand more about the TF and TF2 package, do check out our video. We have provided the link on the top right corner and also in the description. In the previous video, you already cloned this GitHub repo and checked out to the introduction branch, where you saw the Stark robot standing strong in the basic VBOTS world. In this video, we will check out to the URDF branch. We have different branches for the different videos to help you understand the robotics pipeline in a step-by-step procedure. If you're already familiar with the different concepts that we have in the series, you can directly clone the main branch and experiment with the different features or a different robot. In the previous video, you must have already created the VBOTS workspace. This time, let's check out to the URDF branch. And let's do our Catkin Mech. Remember to also do the ROSDEP just to make sure that you have all the dependencies installed. Now that we are in the URDF branch and have all our dependencies installed, let's look at the code. Here, apart from the folders that were already present in the introduction branch, you will see two new folders, the robot description and the visualization. Both the folders have their own launch file. You will also notice that in the master launch file, we call the description launch file and the visualization launch file. So let's take a look at these files and see what's actually going on here. In the robot description launch file, we define the name 4-wheel robot underscore Zacro as this Zacro file, which is present here. Argument names in ROS is almost like passing local parameters to methods. This robot description package takes in the argument, converts this Zacro file into a URDF and places it in the parameter server. The robot state publisher then takes the URDF file from the parameter server and broadcasts the 3D pose of the robot links to the transform library in ROS. In visualization, we make use of a 3D visualization tool called Arvis. Arvis is capable of providing a view of your robot model, sensor information, images, point clouds, etc. Here we load the Arvis config file that we have saved and it gets launched every time a master gets launched, because we are calling the launch file to load Arvis in the master launch file. For a better understanding, I'm going to comment this out from the master and show you how we can create our own Arvis configuration from scratch. Now let's get into the main crux of the video and understand our Zacro file. This is a Zacro file for our Stark robot. This is what the beautiful plan that we made converts into. The Zacro file is basically like a short for XML macro. It is written in an XML format. It has the additional features of using math, variable names, and macros, which expands into larger XML expressions in the file. This XLMNS is like XML namespace, which can be considered similar to importing statements. It's a way of qualifying every element in the file and saying that it belongs to this namespace. So this is like the file that contains the information of all the links, the position of joints between any two links, the visual features, etc. It's more like a kinematic tree model of the robot. We can now start with the first link that we have here, which is the base link, which has the link element along with two sub-elements, which are the visual and the collision. Now, to give a visual property to our base link as well as our four wheels, we need to know the dimensions of a Stark robot. For that, we refer to the place from where we started the creation of our robot. Here we see the dimensions of the robot, and the central body of our Stark robot follows the same features. Hence, we inherit the properties such as the body length, height, wheel radius, etc. from that official website of VBots. Now, the link, which basically describes a rigid body, has sub-elements such as inertia, visual, collision, etc. which fall at the same level. The visual is the most commonly used, and as the name implies, it is what the robot looks like. Here, in the case of our base link, we have given the body dimensions as a box. You can have different kind of geometries here, like a cylinder, sphere, or you can even import your own mesh. This collision element is needed to get the collision detection to work. In our case, we have taken care of collision for the different joints in our VBots Proto, and it's okay not to have the collision element here. Now that we have the general features of the Zacro file figured out, we can now go a little slow in understanding the different links that we have in this file. So first, let's start with the base link and the four links and comment out everything else. So let's remove the remaining links for now. So as of now, we have the base link and the four wheels. Let's launch our master. ROS launch, bring up master.launch. The saved VBot worlds opens up, and let's open a fresh new RViz, and now here we will add the robot model and the TF. All the links that we created in the Zacro file can be seen here, and TF contains all the frames that are broadcasted using the robot state publisher. Now you will notice that there is an error here. This error is because all the joints that we have here is between the base link as the parent link and the child link. However, we haven't defined where the base link is, which is typically given by the localization node. So here we will define our base link ourselves because we do not have the localization running yet. So let's give it some transform. Map to base link, published at 100. Now as soon as we have the base link published, you will notice that the error has gone because all joints now know the relation between the parent link and the child link. Let's convert the fixed frame to the base link. And here you will see that we have the different links and the transforms. These are the visuals of the wheels and the base link that we just created, and these are the different transforms of the wheels and the base link. Let's save the hard work that we just did in our VBots workspace. Visualization, RViz config, and let's name it as testing.rviz. Now going back to the launch file where we commented the bring up of RViz, and we can go to our RViz launch file and let's call the RViz file that we just saved. We named it as testing, and you will see here we have the testing.rviz. This RViz file will now be loaded and called when we launch the master.launch. Now let's introduce some of the other links that we commented out. Let's include the distance sensors, the linear actuator, the rotary actuator, camera actuator, LiDAR, NavLink, IMU and the GPS. We can also do a small experiment here with maybe the back right wheel and convert its visual geometry's origin to pi by 4 and see how it reflects as a change in our RVIS. Now when we launch our master.launch, it says it's an unknown frame again. Now we can go ahead and publish a transform for the base link. And let's change the fixed frame to base link. You can see that there has been an introduction of the distance sensor links here. Do you notice that the robot model still shows an error? Take a moment and think why this is still showing an error. Yes, perhaps you are right. This is because the linear actuator and also the camera actuator are still continuous, and hence this joint which connects the base link and the linear link, or this joint which connects the rotary link and the camera link, does not yet have a position. This is because this is of the type continuous. If we publish the two transforms, you will notice that the error disappears. So we do ROS run TF static TF transform publisher 0 0 0.5 0 0 0 base link to linear link. This introduces this linear link here, and because the joint between the linear link and the rotary link is fixed, we also have the rotary link now. However, this still shows an error, and that's because the camera link is still continuous with respect to the rotary link and does not have a fixed joint. So let's also publish the camera link with respect to the rotary link. TF static TF transform 0 0 0 1 0 0 rotary link, camera link. Hence now we have all the links defined, and you can see all the links and the visuals here and all the transforms here. Also notice that we have changed the origin value of the back right wheel, and hence you can see that it is tilted right now. So we can go and change it back to what it's supposed to be. We can make it back to pi by 2. Note that these continuous type joints usually come with an axis and the limits defined here. But we have taken care of all these factors in the proto in our VBORDs, and hence we are good to go with just defining the name of the joints and the two links that it defines. In the next video, you will see that we will enable the different linear and the rotary position sensors so that the transforms that we just published here will get published automatically for all the continuous joints. Joint state publisher should technically handle this for you, which publishes the joint states of the dynamic transforms. However, in an application like ours, we publish this in a much easier fashion using sensor values. This will be shown in the next video.
If you like the video, share the knowledge with your friends, subscribe to the channel and do comment if you have any doubts or suggestions. Thank you.